Let's get to the coronavirus headlines today that we are following now. Long-term care facilities are now seeing more cases. We're taking a closer look in northern Kentucky. And also, where do places of worship fall on the list of reopening in the state of Ohio? And then Governor Andy Beshear in Kentucky is set to take the podium any minute for his daily briefing. We're hoping to get a little bit more clarity on their return to normalcy in the Commonwealth. But first, we start with the big story of the day, and that is Andy Dalton.
Coming into the season, we weren't getting much credit for anything. And so I think that's just kind of the attitude that this team has that we're going to go out and prove everybody wrong.
Well, the Bengals are the only NFL team that Andy Dalton has ever known professionally. And for 9 seasons, he made it one of his major missions to prove everybody wrong. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Reva.
I'm Tricia Mackey. Since being drafted in 2011, which is where that sound came from, the 32-year-old vowed not only to give his all at Paul Brown Stadium, but to also go beyond the walls of the field.
Well, to kick off our team coverage tonight, we sent things over to Jeremy Rouse. So, Jeremy, Andy Dalton really built a name for himself and will leave a lasting legacy on the Tri-State.
Yeah, guys, and I'm one of those weird numbers guys.
Well, maybe we figure out where he's going, and then he goes ahead and makes the statement. That's what I would do. I think I'd wait to see where I'm going and say, because really, there's no rush at this point.
Ducks in a row.
Yeah, right on. Nice story, Jeremy. Okay, so our team coverage continues with Mike Shell.
So, Mike, Andy and his family were known for giving back to the people here in the Queen City.
They were, Chris, and that legacy of paying it forward is going to be missed by the organizations that benefited from the Dalton's kindness and generosity.
Could be a treat.
Good luck. God bless.
Now, the Bengals' #1 pick, Joe Burrow, has some big shoes to fill, not only on the field but off it as well. He has a lot of work to do if he wants to match or perhaps even exceed what the Daltons have done for the people of this city. Reporting live, Mike Shell, Fox 19 Now.
Thank you, Mike Shell. Good stories. Lots of good stuff coming out. I mean, I know we're like bogged down with coronavirus.
Right.
But it's nice that we bring all of the good things that Andy Dalton and his family did to the forefront.
And you know, what it kind of was conversation over the draft is that the Bengals wanted to treat him with respect and how they handled this. And so
I know, Steve
let's take a look at
Horsemeyer,
our forecast,
you feel the same way with Andy Dalton. I mean, you've been around here for years and years, and you know all the good things he's done for the community.
Yep. Well, I always try to judge local athletes based on them as a person and then on the field after that. So.
Thank you, Steve. One family is shocked to find their deceased son got a stimulus check. What officials are saying you should do if that happens to you.
Plus, reopening Ohio could take a long time. The steps that church leaders are taking to make sure their congregations are safe.
Ken Brown live at the Alert Desk for you guys. We're talking about the coronavirus. Northern Kentucky long-term health care facilities. We've got some numbers that we promised you earlier in the show. Want to break them down for you. Take a look at this. Rosedale Green in Covington has 54 residents that have tested positive for the coronavirus. That accounts for 31% of their 176 beds. That's according to Medicare.gov. 12 residents have died there. 22 staff members also have tested positive. Cold Spring Transitional Care Center has 15 positive residents. 7 residents have passed away at that facility, and 7 staff members have tested positive for the virus. And Florence Park Care Center has 8 residents that have tested positive. No one has died there, and there are 2 staff members with the disease. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is speaking live right now. There is a look at him. I'm going to duck out. I'm going to take a listen to what he has to say, and I'll give you guys the very latest as we continue to follow the latest developments out of Kentucky. Live at the Alert Desk, Ken Brown, Fox 19 Now.
And schools across the country, they're getting creative to honor the class of 2020. How one district is finding a way to bring everybody together one last time.
We're back as Governor Beshear has given the beginning of the state's reopening plan, but there are still a lot of places in limbo. You're taking a look now at the list of places that will stay closed a little while longer, and that does include places of worship. Cody Fisher spoke with leaders to figure out the next step.
Chris, Christ Chapel Church here in Erlanger is planning on opening up their Saturday night services, but it's going to be over here in their parking lot for them to have. Other churches here in northern Kentucky are in the same exact boat. Several that I'm speaking with this afternoon tell me that they are still waiting for some clarification from Governor Beshear on this issue, and until then, they're not wanting to kind of release their finalized plans for reopening safely. Reporting live in Erlanger, Cody Fisher, Fox 19 Now.
Thank you, Cody. A California family pretty shocked to discover that their son received a coronavirus stimulus payment. Tim Finkel says his son Benjamin died like 2 years ago and his bank account was deactivated almost immediately. So when he received a letter stating that $1,200 had been deposited into his account, it brought up a few questions.
How many other people, deceased checks are going out there holding up money that could go to people that really need it?
My concern is that we're going to see fraud and we're going to see a lot of people take advantage of the situation.
The Treasury Department says that heirs who receive the check should return them.
Earlier today, Vice President Mike Pence made a stop in Indiana, General Motors. He toured the Kokomo facility that is making ventilators. GM plans to build 30,000 ventilators to help treat COVID-19 patients.
Kind of a gloomy day outside, wasn't it?
And a bit chilly at times as well, right?
I like the fact that, Steve, you upped the forecast for Saturday, make it even warmer.
Absolutely. I didn't get a chance to change the number in the 7-day forecast, but instead of 75, we're now going for a high of 78. How's that sound?
I like it.
Yeah,
in the right
Best
direction.
way to track it is the First Alert Weather app. It's got everything you need to keep track of the weather. It's the Weather Center in the palm of your hand.
Amy Wagner from Allworth. Air travel has been down as much as 95% during this pandemic, but now we're starting to see signs that it's coming back. I'll have the latest.
We're back as school districts are getting creative with ways that they're honoring the graduating class. This is in Kansas City. The superintendent there has decided to hold graduation in a drive-in movie theater. Okay, the plan will involve 1 car per family parking at the drive-thru for only roughly 6 ceremonies. Students will see their names displayed on the screen. They'll also be able to come together as a group one last time.
They decorate their car instead of, they're capping out, but they can do where their caps and gowns will have their programs. All of those things will be part of the tradition.
Think about it, Tricia. That's also good because from the standpoint that they could have their speakers and their valedictorian just appear on the screen.
And I thought the last I heard that drive-in was still waiting to hear from other schools. They still have openings, which would be great.
All right, Fox 19 now is recognizing the class of 2020.
Yeah, this is kind of nice. We're congratulating today Maya of Lakota East.
Well done.
We're also sending a shout out to Jordan.
Good job, Jordan.
He goes to Dixie. You can submit your senior's photo, a non-professional one because we don't want to get in trouble, at fox19now.com/pics and click the class of 2020 to upload it, or you can submit it through Fox 19 Now mobile app.
I also say you can always just submit it to Tricia's email. She's handling this.
My email. I hardly get any. Andy Dalton era officially over for the Bengals.
How his family has made the impact on the community here in the tri-state that will never be forgotten. Plus, millions of Americans are finding it harder and harder to make ends meet during the pandemic, and why one expert says it is better to ask for help now rather than later.